Hi there. Hi, I'm Johnny Wilkins, and I run a fishing school so I can teach you how to catch more fish. Fish just jumped over here. There's some simple things you can do to catch fish at a pond right near your house. There are lots of fish and big fish in ponds near your house. If you just use some simple fishing gear and some good food, you can catch lots of fish. So this is a rod and reel. Okay, this is used to throw food on a line with a hook out into the pond and we catch fish. But sometimes these are hard for us to use. So I will cast this out to try and catch a bigger fish, but let me show you some better things to catch off. A bite indicator. This is made of a bird feather. So it kind of looks like this. The birds drop feathers all the time, and you can find a feather and you could make a bobber out of it. So this feather is actually from a goose. It's a goose feather. Okay? So it floats on the water and it's going to tell me when the fish takes the food. Alright? There are other, and they look like this. These are some good bobbers. So is the goose feather. They're very light. Light like a feather. Some bad are round plastic bobbers. Those are bad. They're too heavy for the fish. Okay? So if you have some good bobbers, or we call them bite indicators, or they're very light. Bad bobbers are too heavy. Okay, I'll show you. This is a rod and reel, and it's kind of hard for someone who's small to use. I go like this and send the bait out onto the water. We'll talk about rod and reels. Oh, I accidentally caught a fish. This guy was, we'll talk about them later. We'll talk about fish in a little bit. So fish prefer real food because they know what we like. So for real food, here's a tip that you can use to catch a lot of fish is use yummy real food for bait. So there's a couple types of food that I like to use. One is called a wax worm. And it's a little tiny worm like this. Let's get in real close. Take a look at that. It's a wax worm. Another type of worm I like to use is called a red worm. This guy was hiding on me. So these are wiggly worms. It's a red worm. That's a red worm. Wiggly and it moves. When they see moving food, they eat. You could use fake food, which is plastic. It doesn't look good and it doesn't taste good. It doesn't do as well for catching fish as wiggly worms. There's one more worm that we like to use, and he's a big one. He's called a Canadian night crawler. You might see them there, yeah? And we like to keep cooler with ice, so we keep our bait nice and fresh. And fresh, wiggly, delicious. I know you're saying worms aren't delicious, but fish think worms are delicious. To fish, a wiggly worm is like the mac and cheese of the fishing world. So let's see a couple other things. I showed you a rod and reel. Those are a little harder. But I have a simpler way to catch fish, and that is called a pole. The pole has no reel on it. You can see. It's just the line attaches there. And then it's basically a stick. On here I also have another bite indicator that's very light and small. And down here we have a hook. A very small hook. We like to sneak the hook past the fish. So a very small hook and also very light line. This is good for safety too, by the way. If we ever instead of hurting our skin. And then for hooks, the smaller the better. These are the most safe hooks for us. One tip I'll give you, always know where your hook is. Always hold on to the line right below the hook. I have it. Always know where your hook is, and when you go to put it away, put the hook on the rubber band, and then you can put your pole away. I have something even simpler than that. There's a kit that you can make. You just take a stick. This is just a stick. It's a bamboo stick And it has a bite indicator, some weights, and a very small hook. So this you might see this in your garden. Yeah, me food on here. Let's put a delicious wiggly worm on here. And then let's see if I can catch a fish. It's just a stick and the bite indicator, very light line, and the safe small hook. Let's see if the fish like. The yummy worm. I do. What? See, when you fish with delicious yummy worms, you can catch a lot of fish fast. All right? This is a bluegill. Put him back. I'll catch one more real fast. Watch how fast this is. I'll put the bait in with my stick. I'm using just a stick. And then I catch another one. Oh, there we go. Let's see if we can catch another one. I'm gonna put this one back. And there's another one. If you use yummy food, there are so many fish in your lake. That's 3 fish. Is anybody counting? Let's grab another worm. Okay, one more wiggly worm. That's 4 fish. 4 fish, let's put him back. One more wiggly worm. He ate my worm. See, they love this. Just like your favorite food, the fish's favorite food. So how many is that? That's 4 fish? Ooh, that guy stole my worm. He's going for the record. 4 fish. We've used 4 wiggly worms and we have 4 fish. Let's try one last time. Let's see if we can get 5 fish. Can we do it? We definitely can. 5 wiggly fish, come on. All you need is a stick and a good bite indicator and some yummy food. Let's take a look at this fish. Oh, we dropped him. Get in the bowl. He got away. He got away. He went back in. Okay, that's all right because I have still have my pole and I have more wiggly worms. Let's see if we can't catch one more fast. How many is that? Is that 5? 5 fish? Okay, let's see if we can get it. What do you think? I'm watching my bobber, my bite indicator, and it will tell me when the fish takes the worm. So when my bite indicator goes, I'll show you that. When my bite indicator moves, then that means a fish ate the wiggly worm. That's 5. 5 fish. Come on. Okay, you guys have to get a stick and a little stick fishing kit. So this guy swallowed it because he loves the wiggly worm so much. I have a tool to get it out of the swallowed fish. Let's take a look at this fish. This is the state fish. This fish is called a bluegill. Let's take a look. These are some bluegill parts. So, oops, he's there. Here's a bluegill. He has a mouth, and obviously, see how small that mouth is? That's why we have to use a small hook. These on the side are called gills. That's how the fish takes in the bait, using the gills. See how he moves the gills? He takes the bait in his small mouth by opening it and shooting water out of his gills. Now these guys on the top, that's called a dorsal fin, and these are sharp like pencil points. All right, let's get our friend the bluegill back in the water. These are also called fins here, and that's how they swim with their tail. All right, back in the water he goes. Sometimes it's good to bring a towel when we catch a lot of fish like that, and you can wipe off your hands. Another good thing would be hand sanitizer. Clean your hands in case they get dirty. All right, so I have a whole bunch of good fishing kits. I have a kit where you can make your own stick fishing setup, and your mom and dad can help you to make a stick fishing setup, and you can catch 5 fish just like that. Boom, 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 boom. faster than you can count, when you learn to count maybe. So that's a lot of fish, right? So I run a school that's called the Chicago Fishing School, and I like to teach people that there's lots of fish in our lakes. So it's also important, one thing before we go, it's also important to pick up trash. Don't let trash fall in the lake, and don't litter on the shore because it can blow into the lake. So before we go, we'll pick up a little trash in a bag, and we might even pick up other people's trash on the way to our car. All right, so I hope you had fun with fishing and you learned a lot about fish and wiggly worms. I'm Johnny Wilkins, and I'll see you later. Hope you catch a bunch of fish.